wanna see the light.
What's up, beautiful people? I'm here in Denver, Colorado at the Contest Prep Center, built by science. And of course, I have the amazing, legendary Adam Bonilla from Team Elite Physique. And we are gonna show you today some of our favorite glute building exercises, okay? So I think there's about 8 of them that we wanna show today because I always get asked, what are your top glute exercises? So I thought, hey, I should probably make a video about that.
Yeah, good idea.
But I'm a little worried, to be honest, because then, like, if people start doing these, I just don't want them to, like,
Out-booty you?
then they might out-booty me. And I don't know if I want that, but since I like you guys, since I really like you guys, I'm going to reveal the secrets.
We're gonna turn you into her competition. Gonna work Ashley's boot. Boot.
Boot. Not this. Boot. This.
Yeah, and it's so big that it takes all day to work it out. All day. I'm gonna clock in 9 hours today. No lunch break. What's really cool about Ashley is she gives me her medals, and this is her shelf. So we're gonna build this like, Ashley's legendary, right? So we're building this in. This is Korea, 3rd place. This is from her Olympia. She just got 3rd at the Arnold. We got 1st place in Vegas at the Battle of the Desert. 1st place in Vancouver. This one's in Japan. She got 2nd. This is the Mile High where she got 1st. She's actually the only one to ever win the Mile High. She's the original champion, the OG, and she's gonna try to defend it this year. And then this one is her Hall of Fame belt. She got inducted into the Dumbbell Club Hall of Fame, and we're gonna fill this all up. You get a whole nother shelf system and everything.
And these are from when I started training with Adam, so we're gonna fill this up. My main motivation when I compete is Adam needs decorations. Adam needs decorations, so I gotta do it for the decor.
All right, there's the road.
Oh.
The whole purpose of making it.
Awake all night, I need you. Awake all night, I need you.
Alright, so like I totally forgot my hair tie today. I usually have it on my wrist, but I mean, I don't know, maybe we can use this
think
this
so.
booty band for a hair tie. I don't know, maybe if I get annoyed enough.
I need you.
Alright, so we're about to start this glute workout, but I'm wearing this weight belt, as you can see. Now, Adam, why do we wear a weight belt? They always ask us.
Yeah. So we wear a weight belt even when she's doing things like arms, and everyone's like, why do you wear a weight belt? She's not lifting that heavy. But we're doing it to try to minimize how much of her oblique wall she's using to try to keep her waistline tight. So in bodybuilding, this is not strength training. We're just trying to sculpt the body. And so for her, it's better to have wide shoulders, a small waist, and keep it as small as possible. So that's just one of the ways that we do it.
So as we had mentioned, this is our top 8 glute exercises for the booty growth. But this applies to me because we're all different. So somebody else might find another, exercise more useful. Some people think that, doing lunges engages their quads. For me, not so much. And I found great results from my absolute favorite exercise in the world, the curtsy lunge.
Yeah, so when we're going through and trying to find what needs improvements on someone, we're gonna pick specific exercises. And this one she found really worked for like the top upper rounding of her glutes. And we started doing it just to see if it would work. And within a couple of months, it was a significant improvement. So that's why we do so many of these now. Mm-hmm. So, and Joshy's not like a big quad girl, so we don't really gotta worry too much about her getting her quads up there, so.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We're doing the isolated today. I feel like the isolated are much better because I can really feel the burn where I want it to.
When we're doing a curtsy lunge, we prefer doing the foot stationary position. That way she's having constant tension, because if she does a normal curtsy lunge, like you see most people do, they'll go here, and then they'll come up, and then they'll go this way, right? So when you go to this position, you actually lose all the tension because there's just nothing happening here. So when she's in this position here, there's constant tension on the muscle that we're trying to work. And that's how you build muscle, is constant time under tension.
When I train with Adam, I usually do this in about the 10 to 15 per leg range. Push through your heels. Try not to push any with your toes, I would say. That way you can really feel it where you want to. For me personally, I really feel this in my upper side glute here. So that's exactly what I needed to work on the most. Just think about which muscles you're supposed to be engaging during each exercise. Mind to muscle connection.
Yeah.
So next we're gonna do duck lunges, and they look so goofy, but they are so effective. And you actually taught me this. I've never done these before. I met you when we were training. So these are great. Like, I really feel the burn, and it looks so silly, but so worth it.
Yeah. This is another example of constant time under tension. When you do a regular lunge, I'll show you here. When you do a regular lunge, most people come here, and they come like this, and they stand up. When you reach this point, there's no tension. So we're trying to just keep constant time under tension. So you'll see her doing almost half reps, like half ranges. It's about 3/4 range of motion, and she's just stepping before the tension leaves again.
Quack, quack, mofos.
We usually do like what's called walks. We'll do a walk for her. She'll do like a walk of about 24 to 20, like to 30. So it ends up being like 12 to 15 reps on each side. If you're failing at 30 steps, that's where we want to be, like pretty much close to failing at 30 steps. And failing means that you're doing your last reps still with good form, but not able to do 2 or 3 more. That's what failing is. So.
Failing is not an option. Do you have any insight on that question as well? When somebody asks how many days a week should I train glutes?
Yeah. So when you're training glutes in high frequency, you have to take into account, like, you don't build muscle in the gym. You only build muscle out of the gym when you recover. So recovery is always primary concern when training glutes. You can't just work. So as you get more advanced, you can do it more frequently because your recovery abilities are better. But if you're just starting once a week, if you've been doing glutes, once a week for a period of about 4 to 6 months already, then go up to twice a week. That'd be fine. And if you've been doing that for twice a week for like a year or so, then 3 times a week for periods only would be great. So maybe for like a month, you do 3 times a week, and then the next month you do once, and then the next month after that you do 3 again, and it's that kind of cycle. You just can't overload a giant muscle like that. It's such a big muscle. It needs to recover. So periods of time. That's the answer. A year of real focus, and then at the end of the year, the butts are just totally different.
So you can say in a year you can go from MEH, meh, to WOW, wow?
Absolutely.
It's possible.
Wow. So a lot of people do squats for glutes. Squats are not necessarily the best thing for glutes. The bottom range of the squat is the only time where you're really working glutes. That upper range, you're not really working glutes that much because you're not in the position to work glutes. So doing this goblet squat, we're doing it with the plate, actually increases that bottom range of motion, so you're going to get more glute activation because she's able to go deeper than you normally would if you're doing a deadlift. Like a regular deadlift wouldn't allow this depth. So this is why we're doing it here, because you see how deep she goes, and from about here to here is all glute movement. And then past that, as she passes that range of motion, it's a lot less glutes. It's more like quads and legs, so that's why we do it.
I've been training my butt so hard that I blew out my pocket. Yes, I know, right? My butt ruined the pants. It's a shame.
Usually we do this wearing ankle straps, but this is great for, a lot of people don't have ankle straps, so this is the way that Ashley does it when we're like traveling and we're like, oh, we don't have ankle straps with us because we don't bring our whole thing when we travel. And she came up with this and it works just as good. It's just a cable glute kickback, so.
Here we go.
Now there's 2 ways of doing the cable glute kickback. Ashley likes doing it with a leg extension involved. If you're someone who has really developed quads, you don't want to develop your quads anymore, there's another way you can do it where you just keep your leg locked up.
This?
Yep. And you just go partial tension, so you don't go all the way forward. And this again keeps constant tension on the muscle. I prefer this way for most people. And it's just kind of really up to the person and what they're trying to do. So I like that always when we can have constant tension on something, I like to go that route.
Once again, here we go. Know the name, know the flow. Turn me up a little more. I'm setting traps home alone.
Okay, so next up, I'm gonna do donkey kicks using this hamstring curl machine. Now I guess this is similar to what, a booty blaster, correct? So if you don't have one of those in your gym, this is great. And actually, to be honest, I like the feeling of this much better. You'll find that it's a very difficult movement, especially on the way down. But the goal here is to be slow and controlled. So even if you have to use a lighter weight, do it, because it's important that you stabilize so that you're activating the correct muscles and not just pushing it up so it falls fast. It's always helpful too to have this mat, because if you have a hard surface, it's not so friendly on your knees. important that you always squeeze at the top because it's really going to hit that upper glute, which is oftentimes hard to target. Now it's Adam's turn because he's never done it on this before here. Go for it.
Go for it. I'll try it. Get my booty up to Ashley K's hips level.
You can't call yourself a trainer if you don't have a good butt, right? Try going on your elbows, maybe. There we go.
This is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. He's like, I didn't even wear my booty pants today.
I know, I need my cute booties.
Yeah, these are very unflattering pants for this.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
I like that exercise, yeah.
You clearly need more weight.
What do you think? How do you do it? How's it go? It's this one, right? The girls do it on Instagram?
Sure. I do more
Or
of
is
this.
it this one? How do they do this thing with their foot? Yeah, they do this. They do this. Something like that. Ashley wins.
Okay, next we're doing a glute bridge modification. We're doing it on the leg extension machine.
So this is very similar to doing just a glute bridge, like with a barbell. And most gyms don't have a setup like we do here because we kind of focus on glutes here. So most gyms don't have like a glute bridge specified machine. So this is a fast way of like not bringing a barbell off a bench press, getting a bench out from somewhere, getting weights around. It's kind of awkward with people looking at you in the gym if it's like you're in a normal commercial gym that's really busy. So this is a really fast, easy way of doing it, and it's almost the exact same thing as a regular glute bridge.
More comfortable too with this little pad.
Yeah, big pads are already included, right? Mm-hmm. So awesome modification. She does these all the time when we travel. We end up at some weird gyms. So we end up at like hotel gyms and they don't have enough equipment, but they always have a leg extension. So this kind of works for us.
Push through the heels, super important. Squeeze at the top. Pause at the top.
So in the pursuit of isolating glutes and isolating hamstrings as much as we can, as you see the trend, how it's going, this is a single leg back extension or a single leg hyperextension, you want to call it. The key to this one is pushing through the back of your heel. So when she's pushing up, she's going to put all of her weight on the back of her ankle and actually use that as her leverage. Now, when you're doing this for your glutes and hamstrings, you want to keep your back straight, so you're pivoting at your hip and you're pushing through the back of your heel. Well, if you're doing it for lower back, you're actually going to round your lower back a little bit so you can make sure that the lower back's being used in flexion. So that's a way of making sure this doesn't turn into just a back exercise. You will use some back in it, but this is the best way of doing it for glutes and hamstrings. One of the better exercises for glutes and hamstrings. And again, at the top, it's always about the squeeze. Feeling the muscle is so much more important than lifting heavy weight. Always feel the muscle, make that your primary, weight is your secondary. So squeeze, 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 lift with intentions.
And as you can see, I'm doing single leg, but if you're not quite at that level yet, you can do 2 legs, that's perfectly fine. But there's many different ways you can make this harder. You can also hold a weight to increase the intensity, or I think sometimes people put a band at the bottom and they pull as they come up is another option too.
Okay, so here we are again doing glute bridges. Glute bridges are the best way of building the glutes. They're superior to squats, and the reason is that the tension is in line with the muscle fiber of the glute the entire range of motion. Therefore, it isolates and contracts on the glutes, okay? You doing a squat for glutes is like you doing back and saying you worked your biceps. Yeah, you do a little bit, but it's not an isolation like doing a bicep curl. So, again, this is the best way of doing them. If you don't have something like this set up, you can just grab a bench at your gym and then a barbell from somewhere, or again, like we did the leg extension. That's the easiest way of doing it, so whatever you're comfortable with is really up to you. This is pretty much the exact same thing as that leg extension glute bridge. Very close. Yeah?
Heck yeah. So if you guys may or may not have noticed, I don't go super, super heavy when I'm doing these. And the reason why is for me personally, I love to feel it and make sure I'm doing it correctly rather than just like throw the weight around and like stunt for the gram, you know what I'm saying? So I like to go lighter so I can be more precise, so it can be more controlled.
This is another isolated glute exercise. This one is really good for the upper glute when she comes up to the top and squeezes. This one's pretty much a constant tension squeeze exercise. I like squeeze exercises because that's where we're gonna get the detail. We're gonna get a lot of nutrients to the muscle. We're gonna get a good glute pump with constant tension. You know, it's not gonna be a super heavy load. If it's too easy for you, you can grab bands and put them on top of these and add tension to it. But this is pretty difficult for even an advanced person. So one of my favorites, if you don't have a machine like this at your gym, you can lay on a bench and do the same thing at the edge of the bench. It works just fine. And that's basically it.
Awake all night. Awake all night.
Okay. So before we conclude this video, I have a few thank yous, okay? First of all, thank you guys so much for watching and being so supportive of us, and just kind of, it motivates me, I don't know about you, but to see that people have great reactions to our informative videos, and if it helps somebody, that just is like, makes my day, if we, you know, help somebody out there. So thank you guys for watching and staying tuned. And I also would like to thank you, Adam, for existing and being my coach as well, but more importantly, existing. So thank you for existing.
Well, thank you as well for being my friend too. You know, we're good friends after this like journey together. It's great. So I love it. Every day we talk, it's awesome. So.
That's true. That's true. And the final person I would like to thank today is Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Double up.
Because he made booties cool again.
You know
like
what? He
he
did.
did make booties a thing. Like, thank God, because I wouldn't have much going for me. But Mr. Mix-a-Lot, man, you're awesome. Like, what was it, 1996? I think that's when the world changed.
Yeah, send
Booties
him this.
were cool.
Send him this outro, someone.
Yeah, somebody tag Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I don't have a job without you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be where I am today without Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You know?
I think he kind of gets forgotten about a lot, but
You know?
he's important part of this. So, you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Leave a comment, watch, follow. I appreciate everything. Thanks.
Thanks.